Hi friends, my name is Miss Raina, and some of you might recognize me as Ari's Ima, which means mom in Hebrew. I'm here today to talk to you about the holiday of Hanukkah, which starts this Thursday night. I know Miss Alexis and Miss Sam have been talking about it with you in school. So you might already know that Hanukkah is the celebration of the miracle of light. In the ancient temple in Jerusalem, they were fighting a very fierce battle, and there was only enough oil to last for one night in their menorah. This is actually a Hanukkah, but we'll get to that later. So in their menorah, they thought that they were going to only have enough oil for one night, and it lasted not one, not two, not three, but 8 nights. And so every year we celebrate that miracle by lighting our own candles, and we play games like dreidel. This is my giant dreidel here. They usually come in this size. It's a spinning top, and it says, Nes Gadol Haya Sham, a great miracle happened there. And we try to win our chocolate gelt. We eat delicious foods fried in oil like latkes or potato pancakes or jelly donuts called sufganiyot in Hebrew. And we spend time with our families, we open presents, and we just enjoy the wonderful light and joy of the season. So today I wanted to start by reading you one of Ari's favorite books. It's one of my favorite books as well. It's called Engineer Ari and the Hanukkah Mishap. Engineer Ari hurried through the bustling alleyways of Jerusalem, balancing an armload of packages. He held a crate of sufganiyot, a box of dreidels, and a bag of Turkish coins. A Hanukkah and a bottle of oil teetered at the very top. Hanukkah starts in just a few hours, thought Ari. I have barely enough time to take my train back to Jaffa and light the first candle with Jesse and Nathaniel. Ari and his engineer friends always celebrated Hanukkah together. Making his way through the crowds, Engineer Ari saw 2 boys playing. One wore a crown and the other held a shield. Happy Hanukkah, called Engineer Ari. Tell me who you are. Mighty King Antiochus, replied the boy with the crown. Brave Judah Maccabee, answered the boy with the shield. Long, long ago, I stood up to King Antiochus when his army captured the Holy Temple. His brave little army defeated our big one, added the boy with the crown. A great miracle happened here, right here in Jerusalem. Engineer Ari left the old city through the Zion Gate and followed the winding footpath toward the train station. As he climbed down and up and down, his packages wobbled and he clutched them more tightly. When he passed the new homes near Jerusalem's windmill, he waved to 2 girls playing dreidel under an olive tree. Happy Hanukkah, he called. Can you tell me the letters on your dreidel? Nun, Gimel, Hey, Pei, one of the girls called back. That stands for Nes Gadol Haya Po. A great miracle happened here, right here in Jerusalem. When the Maccabees recaptured the Holy Temple, it was in ruins, the other girl continued. They cleaned it up until it sparkled and relit the temple's 7-branch menorah. They had only enough oil for one day, but those few drops lasted for 8 days. Ari continued to the station where he boarded his train and carefully stacked the packages behind him in the engine car. Toot, toot! He steamed out of the station, and soon the train was chug-a-lugging toward Jaffa. Ari imagined the smell of Nathaniel's delicious potato latkes and the sound of Jesse's beautiful voice singing the Hanukkah blessings. Lost in daydreams, he drove his train around a bend too quickly. Oh no, he cried. A camel was sitting on the tracks. He slammed on the brakes. Screech! Bang! Kaboom! As the train squealed to a stop, Ari opened one eye and then the other. He let out a long sigh of relief. The train had stopped just in time. The camel looked at Engineer Ari and bellowed a loud grumph. A Bedouin with long robes and a shepherd's staff ran up to the train. His son followed behind. "Oh dear, oh my, are you injured?" he asked. My silly, stubborn camel would not budge. "I'm fine," said Engineer Ari, "but I fear my train is not." Engineer Ari and the Bedouin inspected the train. The caboose had jumped the tracks. Ari's stack of Hanukkah packages had toppled to the ground and scattered. "Your camel may be stubborn, but I was not careful," said Ari. "My name is Khalil. Khalil means friend in Arabic," said the Bedouin. "Let me be your friend. You and I will pick up your belongings. My son will ride our no-good camel to Jaffa for help, and you must stay with me until it arrives." "My name is Ari," replied Engineer Ari, "and I am most thankful." Engineer Ari found his Hanukkah a little bent but not broken. The jug had tipped over and most of the oil had spilled out. Like the Maccabees, I only have oil for one night, he thought. Khalil shooed his goats away from the sufganiyot and picked up the scattered dreidels. Engineer Ari searched the ground for the Turkish coins. He picked up 1, 2, 3 coins, and then a dusty coin that did not look like the others. It was old and oddly shaped. A 7-branched menorah was engraved on its top. "Look at this," called Engineer Ari, showing the unusual coin to Khalil. Khalil inspected it. "Have you heard of Modein?" he asked. "The ancient home of the Maccabees," Ari replied, "where the miracle of Hanukkah began." "That's where we are," said Khalil. "Long ago, the Maccabees lived on this very land, and you have found a Maccabean coin." Looking at the setting sun, he said, "Soon it will be dark. Come to my tent. I will make coffee while we wait for help." "Khalil, Hanukkah begins tonight," said Engineer Ari. "Will you celebrate with me?" "I would be honored," said Khalil. Once inside, Engineer Ari lit his Hanukkah and sang the blessings. He showed his new friend how to play dreidel, and together they ate sufganiyot. Just as the oil burned low and the Hanukkah began to flicker, Engineer Ari heard a train whistle. He ran out of the tent. "Toot, toot!" Jesse and Nathaniel waved as their train chug-a-lugged up the hill and came to a stop. Khalil's son galloped alongside. Here comes the rescue. "Are you hurt?" asked Jesse. "We were so worried," added Nathaniel. Engineer Ari hugged his two friends and said, "I am safe. I made a new friend. His name is Khalil." We celebrated Hanukkah together on the very spot where the Maccabees once lived. Miracles can still happen, they all agreed. And to this, the camel bellowed a loud grumph. So that's the end. And this shows a picture of this train, which was the first train on August 27th, 1892, when it steamed into Jerusalem from Jaffa, carrying passengers and cargo. So, the holiday of Hanukkah is something that's been celebrated for many, many, many years, and each family has their own traditions. One of the traditions that we have in our family is instead of lighting one of the traditional Hanukkahs that looks like this, we like to have something a little more festive. So this is the Menorahsaurus Rex that Ari picked out when he was 2 years old, and we've been lighting it every year. As you can tell, it still has the wax from previous years on it. So every night we use our shamash, which is the main candle here. It's called the helper candle. And we use him to light an additional candle every night of Hanukkah until we're up to the final 8 nights. So thank you guys all for listening. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season and a happy Hanukkah.